Welcome back. For the past 2 decades, TV favourite Mel Doyle has been championing the work of World Vision, travelling the globe using her platform to give back and make a huge difference along the way. And as the award-winning journo recently learned, she's in good company.
Diana Darlington-Roper, who is 86 years of age, has been sponsoring children around the world for more than 60 years, making her the charity's most experienced, I was going to say oldest, let's go most experienced Australian sponsor. Having dedicated her life to her, quote, calling, Diana has been inducted into World Vision's Wall of Wonder, only the second person to ever receive the honour.
And we welcome back World Vision Ambassador Mel Doyle. Hiya, Mel.
Hi,
along
Mel.
with super sponsor Diana Darlington-Roper. Diana, lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Welcome. You've been sponsoring children for 64 years. Can you take us back to the beginning? Why did you first get involved?
Well, we'd only been married a few months and we found an American magazine, a Christian magazine, and they were advertising by Dr. Somebody Pierce, I can't remember his name now, and you could just hook up with him, send money to America and sponsor a child. And so we thought, well, that's a wonderful idea. If everyone in Australia sponsored a child in some area overseas where they didn't have food, they didn't have schooling, well, then it would be a good idea. So we did it. And we've been doing it ever since.
You did it for 64 years ever since, along the way sponsoring 15 children. That's incredible. You say it's your calling. What do you mean by that?
Well, it means that the way I live has to be shared with other people. And because I was a school teacher and I was dealing with children all the time, it was just easy to involve the school children in the business as well. The school children had activities, very interesting activities that suggested to other children that they would help support. And so it was easy to do. And it meant that the children understood what was happening overseas. So we just liked doing it.
All right. Now, Mel, you and your daughter Talia recently went on a trip to Kenya to visit a sponsored child. From a fortunate life here in Australia, and I think as parents here in Australia, we all would like our kids to see what life can be like on the other side of the world and how difficult it can be. How do you think Talia has changed since that trip?
I think it just gave her a taste of how different life could be. And, you know, you never want to make them feel guilty for what they have here because it's obviously, you know, she's a lucky child. But I just wanted her to see that not everyone lives like children do here in Australia. And I think it definitely opened her eyes to the challenges that young girls, this is beautiful little Bridget, she's 4, the challenges that particularly girls face around the world. And I think more than anything, it showed Talia that we can do something to help, that there is an opportunity for us to contribute. We don't need to sit back and look at it from afar. We actually can step up and make a difference in their lives, and so that's what we were showing her.
Which is what Diana has been doing, Mel, and perhaps you could explain this to... unveil, this is the Wall of Wonder. What does this mean for Diana?
It means how special Diana is to the organisation. Next year, World Vision celebrates 60 years of child sponsorship here in Australia, and the fact that Diana found a way to sponsor children before we'd even begun here is very incredible. And I think probably the thing that you've most shown me is how much this means to us, you know, how much we can get back from doing it. You've brought it into the fabric of your family and how much you've shared. So, yeah, very, very special honour for Diana.
Diana, of all those, all the children that you've sponsored, is there one particular child or one particular story, quickly, that you can share with us on?
Yes, the first child was Yoon Chung Ho, and we had him for quite a few years. And we found out that when he turned 15, that he wouldn't be sponsored anymore. So we sent the money for him to buy a bicycle so that he could start his own job somehow, which he did. And we had a photo sent back to us with him on the bike, and we were really excited to the fact that he could be fed and trained at school and then get a job. That, to us, was a great success.
It changed his life.
Yes.
Don't know, that's like that old story, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, give him a fishing pole and you teach him to,
That's right.
to feed a family for life, which is the same principle as the bike.
That's right.
That was beautiful.
And it was easy for us to share with the school children that we were teaching so that they could see that they had some input and they would write to some of the children.
Great
and
lessons
some
to
of their families would take on sponsored children then too.
Terrific. Lovely to meet you, Mel. Lovely to see you again. It's always good talking
Bit
about
of an inspiration for you, Mel.
Totally.
One day you could
Absolutely.
hope to replicate.
Be half as impactful.
Well, it's just been a happy life for me and a worthwhile life.
Very impressive that you can remember the doctor's name from 64 years ago.
Yeah, we don't encourage anyone to send money to a doctor in America these days. You do it all through World Vision.
That's right, because
It's a safe way to do it.
when we moved to Malaya, we had to send the money then not to the USA but to Canada. And when we came back to Australia, they had an office here for World Vision, so we could send the money through the office.
Yes.
It just
So much
grew.
easier now.
So much easier now.
Make
Yeah.
sure it's not like Kylie sends money to a Nigerian prince. It's weird.
Well,
Make sure it's all through official channels.
That's
Lovely to
right.
see you.
Well,
Thank you,
thank you
Tony.
for
Thank you
having
very
me
much.
here.
Thanks,
This
Tony.
has
Absolute
been fun.
inspiration.
Always great to see you, Mel.
Thanks for
Always
having me.
great.